Hello everyone, and this is IAmTheLionRider. Welcome to the Australian DLC. I decided to make this video a little bit unlike other creators. I know there's probably going to be a ton that are just going to kind of go over the entire spread of new Australian props, but I thought, hey, what's the best way to probably, grade them all? A tier list, because that's what all people do now. Yeah, I mean, without further ado, let's kind of get started. So, uh, we can probably get started with what I'm gonna kind of group all of these as, which are the Australian kind of pattern logs, which I think look gorgeous. Now, the only shame, and I think this is a major shame and a thing that I'm gonna deduce points for, is they're not dyeable for some reason. Even though this is like a zebra pattern, I don't know why they're not dyeable. So I should explain why and how I'm probably going to grade a lot of these. I grade them based off of versatility in other zoos. So, as great as something like the Mech Kangaroo is, I am never going to ever use this prop ever. In any circumstance would I ever use this. However, some of these I might actually have used if they were dyed. Now, I still think some of them, I think this one actually, let's just kind of start moving them, shall we? We could probably just kind of move all of them. So I think all of these can get no higher than B tier, but I think some of them are kind of in B tier. So this one, I think, is B tier because, like I said, that kind of zebra patterning and muted color palette of browns makes it kind of usable in B tier. And so I'm going to kind of put the same thing for these ones. Now, the ones with the blue, this one's probably also a B tier. These ones, though, are definitely C tier just because they're just... The blue really is distracting, and so it doesn't really work too well with, say, an African DLC or African map or a Congo map or South America, etc. It could probably actually work for South America a little bit, but so these ones are actually decent comparatively. So now we get over to the wall pieces. So wood pieces. I really like this wood texture. I think it's far superior to the other pre-made woods we have already in the game. So the Arctic DLC and I mean, the bamboo pieces from the last set, or this horizontal piece. I think this is the best wood, basic wood we have, but it's still not dyeable, so I think this is also a B tier, but a high B tier. Now this, however, this one, let me just split it from the group. This, I don't even know what the name is, but the Congregated Iron Wall, we got our first S tier piece, because this baby is dyeable, it's simple, and I can use it with literally any zoo. I can make it, oh look, now it's a, fence for like an interior building. Oh look, now it's like a plaster wall piece. Oh look, now it's part of like, a nice like, bamboo set or whatever. I'll be honest, for Roger Williams Park, I'm probably going to replace all of the interior walls with this piece now, because I think this is the best texture we also have for, like, a nice striped wall piece. I used the bamboo before, not anymore. That's probably the go-to. Now we get over to the rusted pipes. So, let me just split those again. Give me a sec, edit. Alright, so I am back, so let me just move these into place. So, rusted pipes. Let's just split these. Alright, move them. All of these are going in D tier. I think they're okay. I like the texture. I just can't practically see myself using them all too much compared to some of the other pipes in the game. So these things, I really like them. I think these are a high contender for like an A tier. Like I said, I think it goes for usability. So you see how I did that? That's perfect for like a nice African patterning. You can kind of hide the white if you wanted, or the black just by doing this. Now it's just like a basic thing. So you have a lot of options with these. That's why I think both of the pieces, um, I want to move into A tier. It's going to be a little bit big. Tell you what, I'm just going to literally just treat it as this is the A tier one. There we go. And that counts for both. So these pieces, these are carbon fiber panels. So I kind of like them, actually. Again, it's dyeable. I'm trying to think of like some use I would have for them other than like kind of like a roof piece. So if I made them all like this, actually, yeah, I actually really like these pieces. Because if you just make them like a simple texture like this, I think they really work. So, same thing as last time. I think this is a solid, this is a B tier though. It's not as like nice looking as the other one, but it's not terrible at all. Cork boards, or chipboard, as they call them. I think this is actually a really cool piece. It's not dyeable, but I think overall, for you know, certain zoos and stuff, especially if you're making like a construction site, these could be really good. So I'm gonna put them in C tier. But I actually think that, you know, under certain circumstances, you're really going to want something like this. And I think it looks really cool. And you could probably, like, use that as a nice base for, like, some other stronger builds. Alright, now we move on to the rusted roofs. So, the iron roofs. I really like the texture. I wasn't really crazy about the architecture choice they did at first with Australia. But I think it's a nice texture, so I think I'm gonna put this in B tier. It's not terrible. It's just it's if you wanted a rusted roof in your zoo, which is, you know, I'd say rare. So now we get to our first kind of themed piece, which is the koala. Which, oh, I can check out the new light setting. The Koala Light. I think it's cute. It's probably one of my favorite props that are kind of really themed to the set. So I think I might put these in D tier. They're nice. It's just they're nice and dyeable and stuff. It's just I don't know how much use you could really get out of it. Actually, all things considered, actually if you did that, it's less noticeable. It's a koala. It just kind of looks like a light. But otherwise, it's just kind of, I mean, it's a grill, right? So, but yeah, I think that's where that belongs. So now, moving on. Okay, so these pieces, I think these are metal rods, I believe it's called. Yeah, metal beams. I really like these pieces, especially this baby right here. This one, S tier. This little piece, it didn't dethrone the king of pieces, which is the gutter, because, but I spelled gutter wrong, because it's not as small as the gutter, but this little box piece is very useful, and it's a perfect square. So I could make like pixel art with this super easily, literally just like, you know, just lay them out like this, and you could dye them to be whatever color you want. This is awesome. And so I think, okay, that I actually want to deduct some points because I didn't realize that the color wasn't nearly as prominent on them. But I think it's still good that it is dyeable. So yeah, that is, you know, one of the only S tiers here, but I think it's pretty good. Now we get to these pieces. So these are some paintings that I think they want you to basically put into the rock formations. So they want you to like kind of like sink in rocks like this, and like kind of make the design go through like so. And I think that like works okay. I'm not really crazy about them. I think this one, this is like a nice modern art painting. This one kind of gets a D tier. The other ones, I think we're looking at our first F tiers. just because I don't know anyone who's really gonna want a lizard or a cassowary poster, especially one that's got like writing on it and stuff, like it's like made by kids or something. I don't know, like it just doesn't really work for Planet Zoo. So now let's see. Oh, these got moved somehow. I don't know how, but let's just select them, split, move back to S tier where you belong. Alright, so now we get to the wooden crates, or wooden whatever. I don't know what these are called. But I can see people using them. These kind of go in the same cork board category for me, where I think that you're going to get a lot of use out of these from like a construction standpoint if you're like in the middle of building a zoo. I think those are really nice. So yeah, let's kind of move on to over here. So these animal shields. I love them, but they're F- tier. And the reason is they are dyeable, but I cannot get any use out of these because there's a kangaroo, a koala, and a dingo on them. If there was any other animal. Okay, so actually I'm going to separate it because the dingo I feel like you can maybe get away with. So if you want to try something, if we wanted to, say, make this, like, kind of like a white and gray color scheme, actually, it's still not really working. This could maybe work for, like, an Arctic wolf, but it really doesn't still. Could it be like an African wild dog? Questionably. Or, I don't know. It's a hard sell for me. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't think these are useful. These are just, you know, they're nice. I like them. I like the design. I just wish that they had maybe like a blank shield to go with these, just because the fact that they have the animals on them is pretty annoying. I like them, but what are you really gonna get? You know, unless you're gonna put them next to a koala or a kangaroo, they're not useful. You're never gonna use them. And same thing goes for here. This signpost. I really like this design. I really do. Why did you put kangaroos on it? I could have used this in so many other zoos, but you had to add kangaroos. So, yeah, that bothers me. So the next two are kind of like sign kiosks, and I think these are fine. I'm not crazy about the designs myself. It's a real shame with that kangaroo one, because I really like that design, but I think these are actually going to get F tier along with it, even though they obey the rules of, like, you know, trying to be, you know, not discreet and stuff, like, you know. But that's a real shame. And while we're at it, you know, for the same reason, I love this canopy. It would have been so nice if they were just blank shields and dyeable, but alas, F tier you go. Actually, you know what? This is F- tier, because it took this issue and just made it into a nice prop that I can't use. So, yeah, that's a shame. So that's an F- tier. These wooden pieces. Not as good as some of the other wood that we have in the game. Oh god, the Mech Kangaroo, we'll get to that one. But I think overall, what do I want to grade this? I kind of want to say B tier. I think these are B tier. They're fine for what they are. It's just nothing great. All right, now this big canopy piece. I think this is an S tier. Honestly, like, this is a really nice piece. It's dyeable. The patterning is perfect. This is an S tier. I can use this in so many circumstances. Like, for a nice, you know, modern zoo or something. You could use that with an African set, a South American set, an Asian set, just by dyeing it. You could use it with the Arctic pieces if you just made it blue and white. This is a perfect piece. Aquariums, you could there's so many options. All right. So moving on to this Australian wood piece. Again, it's very specific because you can only use it for Australia. But as a piece, I think this might be an A tier because it's only Australia. It's not dyeable, but it's so nice looking and clean that for an Australian set, I think you could put that on any Australian area and it works. The only gripe I have is it's got the wood texture, but I don't see that as an issue. This Australian wall light, this is like C tier. It's really not anything special. It just kind of looks like a light. So, but I don't even know why it's called Australian wall light. It just kind of looks like a wall light, but I think it looks good. So these wood pieces, I'm not crazy about the design. I don't think they're as useful, so they're gonna get knocked down a peg. They're gonna be in C tier. Not much to say. These pieces, however, the ones that they made like the big mosaics out of, all of them are S tier. There's so much customization ability here that, yeah, these are gonna be so useful for everyone. You can, you know, people always complained about, like, oh, well, you're missing this animal silhouette or whatever. Now you can just build it. And they're basic enough geometric shapes that, yeah, you have so many options. You even just saw, like, if you look at the blueprints, they have, like, you know, literally all of these things. You can make a lizard, a kangaroo, a koala, and they all look really good. And so, you know, you can either use those official ones, or I'm sure people are gonna make. I might make them, like, yeah, an elephant or a rhino, etc. So this wall lamp, you know, light post, I really like it. I don't know if, I'm trying to like find some practical ways to use it in zoos, but I like the shape. I like the shape, and I like that it's dyeable. So for that reason, it's got to be at least a B tier. I'm not sure if I want to go higher than that, but it's definitely a B tier. Now moving on. Okay, so these pieces, I like these Australian fences. They're like a nice, like, kind of like fake stone texture, and it's kind of nice. It's like I don't know. I just really like this piece. So this piece I think is an A tier. I think it's really clean. It could probably be used in like maybe like a playground or something of that nature. I mean, this piece could be used for like anteater enclosures if you really wanted or something. So I really like those pieces. Fences. So these new fences, they're like 3 kind of metal fences, and I'm gonna kind of put them all in the same category. These ones are gonna be pretty useful, I think, if you wanted to make like stables or something. So I think these are an A tier. Again, they don't necessarily have to be dyeable to be like a high tier. It's just that they need to be something that I can, you know, practically use in a zoo other than, you know, the Australian DLC Mega Zoo or something. This sign, I think this is a little too specific for what it is. It's got kind of like rusted metal and 2 design colors. So even though I put these in F tier, this is like an F minus tier. It's just, I can't imagine I'll ever use it, like, you know, for anything. Alright, right here, this awning. See this awning right here? It is dyeable. How dyeable are you, though? Can I redeem the one part of you that I hate? We'll see. Nope. Okay, you're F minus tier. I was rooting for it. You almost were S tier with your, your fellow wall that accompanies you, but you're F tier because they decided you needed a kangaroo on you. Why did you put a kangaroo? It's such a nice wall piece. uh, I don't know why they insist on doing it. Now, if you've seen how the rest of the video has gone, you can kind of figure how I'm going to judge a lot of the rest of these. So let's start with these Australian silhouettes. I think for what they are, they're fine. So they're not going to get F- tier, they're not going to get F tier. But they are going to get D tier. Because again, I can only practically use some of these. Okay, I'm going to actually kind of separate some of them. So, tell you what. If I go in, the lizard and the dingo are going to get moved up to C tier. Now, the reason is I can dye this dingo, and I can make it into a wild dog sign. I can make it into a wolf sign very easily. Same with the lizard. Lizards are pretty much, universal. Now, the other Australian animals are only good for the Australian DLC. And this dingo, is, like, again, it's too themed to Australia. So it's not, as useful as the vague one. But, I like those pieces. They're fine. These signs, I really like them. And it's a real shame, because I really like these pieces. I just really wish that they made them for all the animals in the game, because I think these, like, crossing signs are really awesome. It's just I'm struggling to move them past, D tier. Like, I just, unless you're gonna have all 4 Australian animals, I just can't practically see you using them. That's the only shame. Also, is there no kangaroo? I'm trying, because I was just going through the pieces. What are these called? Probably like crossing sign or something. Yeah, Australian road. Because if there's no kangaroo, that's really odd. Road. Oh, there is a kangaroo. Okay. I thought it was odd, yeah. It must have just not been, whatever. Regardless, all of them kind of D tier. Because, yeah, they're not dyeable. Oh, they are Ooh, that could change some things, guys. Yeah, yeah, so this one is getting moved up a rank to meet its dingo brethren, just because I can make it practically into a wolf sign. That is the only reason that one gets moved up, because it's useful as a wolf / dingo / wild dog sign. However, this one, the Cassowary sign, F- tier. It's just too blatantly apparent it's a Cassowary. Cassowary. I know there were some people commenting on how I pronounced it Cassowary last time. Cassowary. I know it's Cassowary. I just say Cassowary because it sounds better. Australian edible sign. Hello. Okay, I'm not crazy about how the sign works, but I think I do like it. So, this is a C tier sign. Might as well review all the signs while we're at it, though. Is this a sign? Yeah, it is. Oh, yeah. G'day, mate. Hello, everyone. Long text. Okay. That kind of sealed its fate. So, as its own backdrop for a sign, I think it's, like, A tier. So I'm gonna put it there. But, as a sign, I think it's actually a really bad sign. It doesn't even utilize the bottom. I feel like if it finally, like, was a sign that, like, utilized the top and the bottom, it could be higher. But that's not very good. Alright, so we're kind of rounding out this video at this point. There's only a few props left to judge. So we'll do the wood pieces. Not dyeable, so it's not S tier like the East Asian plank, but I like the wood piece texture. They're B tier. This thing, uh, it's a little nice decorative area. Okay, I'm gonna put it in D tier. It's not anything crazy, but it's not good either. Okay, so these signs. These signs, I think, are a lot better than the other one. I would still probably just use them as wooden pieces, but as signs, I think these are a high... This is an A tier. Just because I think it all looks good. Now, down to the final two pieces. You see this Cassowary? This Cassowary looks pretty nice, right? You know, it's a nice little statue. Yeah, no, this is an F- tier. This Cassowary is so useless, because what are you going to use it for? Like, put it next to the Cassowary exhibit? Like, that's all it's good for. And it doesn't even look good. It kind of looks like a Muppet or something. Like, I don't know. It's dyeable, but, like, because it's got, like, the crest and the, like, you know, throat of a Cassowary, like, you can't pretend like it's an ostrich. You can't pretend it's an emu. You can't, like, what are you gonna do? It's just, it is what it is. It's a Cassowary statue that's very themed. And finally, we get to the thing that Frontier was so proud of. The Mech Kangaroo. I really like it. It looks cool. It's animated. That's a plus for modders. But this is an F- tier. I will never, ever use this piece. If I'm gonna make a kangaroo exhibit, why would I choose... This is not the theme I'm going for. I am not going for robots in my, you know, zoo. I can't make it into any other animal. It's just a kangaroo, because kangaroos are, you know, notorious for being such a weird animal that nothing else can get use out of them other than a wallaby. So, for that reason, F- tier. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna make a new tier just for it. This goes just below F- tier. What? Give me a sec. Hold on. This is F- tier. That's where the kangaroo goes. Alright. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a bit long and kind of boring in a way, but this is it. This is the definitive, you know, Australian DLC prop tier list. Again, shout out to all the S tiers, pretty much all the ones that are super versatile. A tiers, same thing, any ones that I could get a lot of use out of in other zoos. B tier, a couple of honorable mentions. I like the new wood, I like the carbon fiber piece, and I do like some of these poles. The rest, probably never going to use you. You kind of go in the same category as the rest of the, you know, existing South America / Arctic stuff that no one ever uses. But actually, out of curiosity, let's quickly do that. So let's just grade like a few of the other things quick that were also added. So they added a new path system, or a couple of new path systems. Not crazy about the orange one. Mosaic one is pretty good. That's pretty much my grading. The orange one, you know, you could probably use for Australia sections, but that's really it. And then finally, I just wanted to check out the how the Australian like bins and stuff work. Bench would be an A tier. That's a really good. That's a good bench. I really like that bench. Okay. Picnic bench, however, is F tier. This is terrible. This is like everything I hate. They made every single Australian animal on it. That's terrible. Picnic canopy, that's a B tier. And trash bin, A tier. Okay. I just wanted to get those out of the way just because I thought, you know, we should probably grade those while we're at it. Alright, so I hope you guys watch. I'll be posting a bunch of videos soon going over the rest of the DLC. And thanks for watching, guys.